Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I posted like the very first video I posted on this channel was how we found out we were pregnant and like our struggles, I think it was called. But YouTube's messing up somehow and it's only showing the first minute of that video, which doesn't explain anything. So I thought I'd just like redo the whole thing. This is probably going to be a pretty long video, so I'll just get started right away. So my boobs were like pretty tender and hurting, and I was like, it was kind of weird because I didn't know that that was a sign of pregnancy, so I kind of just like went with it, and I was like, oh, whatever. So I kind of just like went with it. I didn't think much of it, and I never like really kept too much track of my period. Yeah, like I kept track, but not like super well. So when I didn't like get my period, I didn't like know right away. And then I realized that like my period was late, and I checked my app and it was like a couple days late, and I was like, oh, whatever, it'll probably come. And then the next couple days it didn't come, and it was like 4 days late, and I was like, okay. And then I kind of put 2 and 2 together, and I looked it up, and breast pain was a sign of pregnancy, and I was like, I need to go get a test. So I talked to Zach, and we went to the dollar store and picked up like Kiara just knocked the camera off the stand, but we went to the dollar store and picked up like a $1 test. Those things work just fine. I don't know why people spend the money on like a $50 one. So we went home, and it was like pretty late at night, and I went into the bathroom, and Zach was sitting in the living room, and I took the test, and then I came back out and talked to Zach for a bit, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back and look. And there was 2 lines. One of the lines was really, really faint, but it was there. Like, it was there. So I called Zach into the bathroom, and I showed him, and we both like started to cry, and we were just hugging each other, and we were like thinking about like what we're gonna do. And he said, it's totally my decision. I should do whatever I feel like I want to do. And I knew at that point I was going to keep her for sure. So, and then we were like, okay, so we should probably tell my mom. Like, my mom was definitely the next person to tell because I'm so close with my mom. Like, she's literally my best friend. And I wasn't, like, I was nervous to tell her, obviously, but I wasn't, like, super, super scared because my mom is, like, a super understanding individual. Like, I knew she wouldn't freak out on me. Like, I was a little bit nervous and, like, upset because I didn't want her to be disappointed in me. But at the same time, like, like, she was the next person I wanted to tell. Like, maybe the next night or something, we were driving to my aunt's house with my mom, and I kind of just, like, blurted it out. I was like, so I might be pregnant. I took a test, and it was positive. And she was kind of like, what? Oh my goodness. And she pretty much told me that she would, like, support me with whatever I chose, and if I did choose to keep her, like, she would help me, she would be there. And she, like, yeah, she was pretty much telling me it's completely my decision. So, and then she also said that I should book a doctor's appointment, so I did that. When I went into the doctor's, he did a urine test and a blood test. So he did a urine test and a blood test because a blood test will like always come out positive, and a urine test like may not, because if it's like too early it doesn't show it right away. So the urine test was negative, and he told me that at that appointment, but to see my blood test I had to wait a couple days. And at that point I was like, oh, maybe I'm not pregnant. Like, so I waited a couple days, and it was like the longest days of my life. And so when I went into the next appointment to check my blood results, my sister drove me because my mom was working and Zachary was working, and it wasn't like a big deal that she drove me. Like, I'm pretty close to my sister as well. The doctors, and he told me that my tests were positive, and I was like, like, I didn't like react too much because I already kind of like knew. but now it was like real, you know. So he asked me what I wanted to do, and I said I wanted to keep her. He told me to go pick up prenatal vitamins, and he told me that you're so cute. Yeah. He told me to go pick up prenatal vitamins, and he also told me that he was gonna book me an ultrasound and all that jazz. So my sister's waiting for me in the car, and I get in the car and I just start bawling my eyes out. Like, I was freaking out, and she was like, it's gonna be okay, like, it's fine, like, just tell me what's wrong. And I'm like, I'm pregnant. And she's like, oh my goodness, it's fine, like it's everything's gonna be okay. And we kind of just like had a really deep talk about it, and she was excited, and we went to the store and picked up prenatal vitamins and like stretch mark cream, and then we just went home and we were just like talking in her room. And then my other sister, I have two sisters, so my other sister came in, and she could like kind of tell something was up, and I didn't want to tell her right away because I knew she wouldn't like react in the most positive way. Like, I knew she would probably be pretty upset. So she was kind of like knew something was up, and she was like, you guys have to tell me what's going on. And we're like, oh, nothing, like, just stop. And she's like, then she says, Justine, are you pregnant? And Justine's like, not me. And then I was like, oh no. And then she's like, she kind of clued in. She's like, you're pregnant? And she freaked out, and she was pretty upset and worried and concerned because I am still in school. Come here. Because I am like still in school, and she knew I would struggle, and she just, it was very hard on her, and I felt bad, but she pretty much just like left the room and went upstairs and cried, and I felt really bad. So the last person I had to tell was my dad, which he should have known probably before both of my sisters, but it just didn't work out that way. So I was like so scared to tell my dad, you guys. Like, oh my goodness, I did not want him to be disappointed in me. I did not want him to get mad at me. I felt so bad. I just did not want to tell him. I felt so bad. So like, I wanted to wait for like a perfect time where we could just like sit down and talk. I didn't want it to be like just like tell him at like a random time. Like, I wanted Zachary to be there, and I wanted us to just like sit and talk about it. But some stuff went down, and my sister and my mom and everybody were fighting, and it just kind of got blurted out, and I didn't know it got blurted out. So he like picked me up from school one day, and he like seemed like really like upset, and I just like, I didn't like clue in really, because I just, we always like, me and my dad were always kind of like fighting a lot, so I didn't like clue into like that was what was wrong. I just like thought he was just mad at me for whatever reason. I don't know, I was dumb. So I was like, why are you so upset? And then he was like, I'm not. And he just like walked upstairs. And then I don't know, I don't remember how it happened. Either he told me that he knew, or Julia told me that he knew, or something, and then I freaked out because I thought Julia told him, and we got in a huge fight, and it was just a complete blowout. But then like after a little bit, my dad came and talked to me, and we pretty much just talked about the whole situation, and he told me like his point of view on things, and he told me that I was going to struggle and it was going to be hard, and that he just cares about me and doesn't want me to struggle and all that. Kiara, come here. Come here. So I told him I would think about it and I would take it all into consideration. And then, so that's how everybody found out. After a while, things were better and everybody became supportive and excited. It took a little bit, of course, but eventually everybody came around. So I'm super, super glad to have such an amazing family. You're so lucky to have such an amazing family. For you too. Yeah. We also kind of talked about like our struggles in that video. That was pretty much just that, like, we had to move into my grandparents' house to save money. We had to give away our pit bull. Just some stuff like that. Whoa, Kiara. You almost knocked it over again. Come here. But I'm gonna end the video now because it's super long, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to check out more videos of mine, I have like all of my pregnancy updates, and I post vlogs and updates of Adeline. So if you guys would like to see all of that, then please subscribe and go check it out. Please like this video and comment, and we will see you in our next video. Say bye. Bye. And of course, stay positive, guys.